Welcome, my brothers. You know exactly what it is. I'm D. This the Future Fathers FF podcast. You know I was joking, man. You know I was joking. Anyway, I must be mad. It's because Nay's not here, you know. Again, it's because Nay's not here. I was ready with the crows and stuff for Nay's chair. It's gathering dust. I'm telling you, seriously. But he's gonna be here soon. He will be back. I said this to you already, and it's not a joke. It's not a joke, my brothers. My bro will be back. So, my guys, Kings, how you been? What you been up to? How's your week's been? Your week? February's kicking in now, man. Well, go on. How you moving? What you up to? How's things going? What's cracking? I'm alright. Excuse me. Not too bad. Work's been okay. Been a bit mad, but you know what? Work is work and life is life. That's exactly what I just said to my brother on the phone. I just spoke to him, and you know, life is life, man. Things go on. Everybody's got stuff going on, so we just have to move with it. Just have to keep going. So, bros, today I'm gonna ask you a question that I posed to myself a little while ago. And the question is, do our children have, or should I say, does the social media have too much of a sway or an influence on our children? Most definitely, yes. Especially in the 21st century where social media is everything. Yeah, you can't get away from that thing. There's X amount of different places to get your daily social intake of the internet. Yeah? My preferred platform is YouTube. Mainly because I watch man play game. I'm a gamer myself, as all of you know. And I'm a podcaster. So I kind of have to watch YouTube. Well, I don't have to, but that's my preferred platform. And I've got preferred people that I watch for specific things. Now, I know there's other platforms out there. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. And they all have, I want to say they all got their uses. They do, obviously. I'm on Instagram as well. Future_Fathers FF. Shameless plug. But still. Our children are on there and they're getting to see life through a microscope. And as far as they're concerned, that's what life is. Life is the glitz and glamour of all these other people's lives and what they're doing with themselves and how much money they've got and where they're on holiday and who they're holidaying with and all of these stupid things that our children really have no concern over at all, or should have no concern over. Correct myself. They should have no concern over. But for them, it literally is the be-all and end-all of existence. Oh, so-and-so's got this. Oh, so-and-so's got that. Oh, so-and-so's here now. Oh, they've gone to this place. Oh, they're doing this, they're doing that. Why can't I do that? Because your mom and dad, or your mom, or your dad, or your parents, or carers, guardians, may not have the facilities or the money to do that. But how do we put this to our children? How do we tell them that? How are we able to say, well, do you know, I can't facilitate what you need or what you would like? Because it's not what they need. Yeah. What they need is a roof over their head, food to be able to eat, clothes to put on their back, and shoes for their foot. That's it. That's what they need. Yeah. And medicine for when they get sick. Apart from that, you don't need anything else. You know, we can all find other things that we would require for our lives. We can all find them in different places. But those few things that I mentioned, those are necessary. Those are things we need to survive. You need clothes to keep you warm and dry. You need food for sustenance. And you need shelter. Simple. But the children of the 21st century seem to feel that they need social media. Social media to them is like what music videos was to my generation. You know, reading black magazines and things like that from the States and the UK. I'm not going to exclude myself. Or should I say this country that I live in? I can't exclude us. But a lot of things when I grew up was influenced from the US, as it still is. But now, you can see people that live in the same country as you that are doing better than you. I'm sure that's my youth coming upstairs. I heard music and I was like, what is that? Yeah, it is. I can hear his roller skates. Anyway, yeah, their whole, I don't want to say their existence revolves around social media, but that's what it's becoming. You know, that's what it's close to at the moment. Like, social media for them is music videos to us, cartoons. Yo. Say hello.
Oh, hi.
You alright?
Alright.
Yeah, I'm good. Yep. Yes, I did. You?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because when you told me, and then this is the guy I got the covers.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. So I was feeling as a planet. Well, just because of, some people standing there, some people window, people standing there, people saying it's like, out of the way. So I had to spin on the spot, and then I tripped over one foot, slipped, got my bum. I looked kind of cool because I slipped, I slipped all the way down, I didn't know, because I like slipped, because I was rubbing my bum. So it looked pretty dope.
Alright.
Ain't gonna lie. Looked dope, I didn't want to drop it. I actually didn't like it on my phone at the time. So I wasn't dropping my back on it. I kind of slid and I landed my phone, I was like,
Yep. Now let's see.
but I kept going, dude, was like, you okay? I was like, yeah, that's good, that's really fast.
Good.
But yeah, no.
It's alright.
Oh, I can't do enough playing this way. I figured out how to do the things I was looking for. When it had to go into the electronics store, because they have a bunch of different storage, so you have to get tires from one shop, rims from another, all the electronic parts from one, and all the
This guy was flipping out last night. Yeah, I had to go into his room. I'm not even joking. I think I went in there about 2-3 times to tell him to be quiet because this guy's going mad over a game where he's trying to build an engine and he couldn't find the parts.
Yeah, look, it was mad complicated, okay? You know me, I can't go over the tutorial, so I was like, no, the tutorial ain't doing it. So I went into it. I mean, I finished the car, tested it, it goes up to like 180 miles an hour, and the car grip, it's kind of sad.
Yeah, that's alright.
I'm building the GTR 34 right now. Finished something for that earlier today.
Yep.
Let me go with car for
Yeah.
now. And
Okay.
I just need to finish doing the under chassis of the car, so I put more of the exhaust packs and put that one there. And then I need the interior, the de-rust the car, paint the car, and then re-oil and fit the engine bits into the car. And then after that, I need to go and space the wheels, make sure the lights point the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay. So his main influence was gaming when he was younger. Obviously, I'm sure you can tell. Yeah. But it's not like that now. As I was saying, like this generation, their social media is what gaming was to you.
Yeah,
It's what music videos was to me.
Yeah.
So it's just nuts. But anyway,
Anyway, I will let you finish.
thank you very much. Alright.
Fun.
I will.
If you are listening, I have patience.
See, there we go. Give thanks for him, bro. But not because he made my room cold now. I've got to turn back on the heating. Anyway, see, influence. There we go. His influence is gaming. You should see the youth's gaming setup is nuts. Like, obviously works. So you heard him was on his way back from work. He's able to facilitate himself now. The stuff that he's got, and the joke is, yeah, it's not even anything majorly dope, yeah. He's utilized what he's got extremely well because he's raised in a house where he's seen how, do you know what, budgeting, it helps. And my main influence was somebody who budgeted almost everything. Obviously, there's certain times where you're like, yeah, cool, you can have that, but still. My younger one now, his influence is more social media because he grew up in a time where social media was a big thing. His older brother, it wasn't really that with social media. He still went out to go and check his brethren. The younger one, T, like everything he does, or should I say everything linked around his brethren, is, I would say, 80% social media. Yeah, he talks to his brethren on Xbox when he's playing. He chats to them on the phone. But hear this, man don't use the phone as a device to make phone calls. Man talks to his brethren on Discord on the phone. What? I was lucky when I was a youth if I got to use a mobile phone. Brothers, listen, yeah? I was in my teens, my late teens, before I got a mobile phone. Yeah? But actually, no, I would say I was in my mid-teens. Yeah, about 16, 17 when I got my first phone. Yeah. These two, my own children, and only because of how me and the missus actually saw how things were developing around us, and we're seeing all these other youths with phones. And not to be funny, sorry, as a parent, in my position, I'm looking at other people and I'm like, well, you're all dumb. Why are you buying your children a phone? Phones are not for children. Lo and behold, if your child don't got a phone now, or when my two was younger, it was like, well, your child ain't really, they're lacking something in life. What? No, they're not. Yeah, in my eyes, if your child ain't outside experiencing life, your child is lacking. Well, I don't want to say lacking something, but there's less life experience there. But on the flip side of that now, we've moved into the age of technology. We live in the 21st century. Life for this generation that are growing up now, they're not big people, they're not like in their late 20s, yeah? Like I would go up to mid-20s is still growing, yeah, obviously. Almost everything for them is governed by something social. And I don't mean a social gathering, yeah? Because that's what being social was when I was a youth, yeah? Socials is where you used to go and hang out with your brethren. That was the social, yeah? If we're talking about socials when I was a youth, a young youth, that was a club you used to go to on the ends where all the other youths used to go. You cannot find them anywhere now. Nowhere. There might be some, here and there. But listen, when I was a youth, yeah, when I was younger, and I'm talking a good while ago, I could go out in the summer to the adventure playground. They used to have different organizations running different schemes at the adventure playground. Even just to the park, there was different people over in the parks doing different stuff, playing different games. You could join in with different families, playing rounders, run-outs, all kinds of football, all kinds of different games. You could get involved with almost anyone. Now everyone's guarded. No one don't want to interact socially with other people. They'd rather sit down on social media and talk to the same people that you would go out with. But the funny thing is, most people now talk to people that they would never talk to physically. They wouldn't have a physical conversation with certain people. And that is because they don't know what they look like. Social media allows you, as my missus put it to me, yeah, social media allows you to be whoever you want to be. Hey, what? I just want to be me, you know. I just want to be D. That's it. The brother that loves these youths and is always talking about them, is always talking about these podcasts, always talking about some game. That's it. That's me. This is me. What you're getting is me. That's it. There's nothing more to see. Yep, I've done some bad things, working on myself. I've done some good things, and I'm working on doing even more good things and developing myself as a human being. That's me. Yeah, I'm not hiding nothing from nobody. I'm not trying to tell you brothers, oh yeah, I'm this, and I'm not. Yeah, brothers, I got flaws, just like you, man. I've done bad things in my life, just like some of you, man. But like some of you, man, I'm looking at myself and saying, oh, Deed, you know what, yeah? You need to fix up something. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to tell you some gracious lie and be like, brothers, if you do this, then things will be okay. No, I'm here to tell you, what, my brothers, life is hard, and it can get harder for you unless you're actually willing to look at yourself and be like, I need to change something. I need to change something for me. Don't change it for anybody else because you think, somebody else is they're gonna have some kind of better influence for you. There's always influence to be had. But we have to look at how our children are being influenced by the different aspects of life that there are now. And there are so many more that are having a negative, there are so much more negative influences, by my opinion, based solely on the things that I saw when I grew up and how I grew up and the time that I grew up in. I grew up in a completely different time to now. Social media was not about when I was a youth. As I done stated already, when I was a youth, man had to go outside to be social. You know how many, listen, all right, now let me tell you this, yeah? Social media is a good thing because you get to connect with millions of different people. You get to see different aspects of life that you wouldn't normally get to see outside of your circle and your environment, yeah? But the one thing that you do not get with social media, yeah, is physical interaction. You know how many times as a youth, my brethren, my friends see me get battered up by my mum? You know how many times my brethren have been battered up by my mum? But all of my brethren's got a level of respect for my mum that you wouldn't get now. You just wouldn't get it, because certain children grow up in a house where mum's a certain way, they're a certain way, and social media is influencing their behavior, their actions, what they say, everything. So life is completely different to what it was when I grew up. I can say this because I've seen it change. I was a youth where I used to get licks, yeah? My mum couldn't do that now. I was a youth where I could go to school, yeah? I could go to school. And I've seen videos of the teacher hollering at certain youth. You think that could happen in my school? I'm not just saying my school alone, yeah? My sister's school, yeah? She went to an all-girls school. You think that could happen in my sister's school? No, because I know there's certain chicks back then would have battered up the teachers as well. But there was levels of respect that we all had back then that just don't exist now. I don't want to put it solely down to social media, because it's not just that. It's the way the world has changed and the way the world has grown. It's unfortunate certain things have developed the way they have. Social media is one of those things that has come out of, I don't want to say necessity, but it's come out of a thing where because of the interaction between human beings, because we're social creatures, we need human interaction. It's easy for us to, I'm just going to sit down on here and just look and look and look and look and look and look. So if it's that distracting for us, and we're big people, yeah, how distracting do you think it is for a child? Like, we have to look at this objectively as parents, yeah, and I know it's going to be hard for a lot of us because we're looking at it, and I'm looking at it, and I'm saying, well, parents need to do, or we should be doing blah, blah, blah. But the joke is, the majority of parents listening to this are probably listening to it on their phone. Don't get me wrong, I'm not telling man to not listen to me. I'm not saying don't listen to the Future Fathers FF podcast. I'm saying utilize your time, as I've stated in previous podcasts before. Yeah, you see when it's this time of the evening, yeah, because right now I'm recording this, it's 9:30. The youth should be in bed. Certain age levels should be in bed. This is the time where mum, dad, whoever, parents, guardians, whatever, yeah, this is where you take time for yourself and you sit down, you reflect on your day, you reflect on your week, your month, whatever you got going on, and you say, right, okay, this is my time now. What influences are you going to allow into your life that can benefit you, that can help you adjust to the social circles and social norms now surrounding your children? Because everything you do as a parent now, everything you do, and this is based on my own experiences, I'm not going to tell you it's going to be exactly the same for everybody, but everything now as a parent is almost governed by how your child will see you, or what how your child will be affected. Not how your child will see you, but how your child will be affected. As I done explain to you, you done heard. My biggest one, yeah, my big one, his influence, a major influence for him was anime and games. Because that's what I was into when he was growing up. The younger one, I don't want to say man was into social media, but I tell you what I was into, which is probably why it's rubbed off on him in such a way. I was working on construction sites all the time, so I was used to meeting a lot of different people and having social interactions. I always had a story to come back and tell them, always. So for him, it's more like, oh, my dad's got stories. He's used to hearing different things. I don't want to say that is that, it could be, but that's a part of what I see as an influence on my own children. And then looking at my children and seeing what influences them aside myself and mum and school and friends, the only major influence I see in the youths today, my youths and my nieces, nephews, is social media. That's it. The thing's got them on lock. The thing's got the youths on lock. The youths ain't got social on lock, yeah? This thing here is locking our children down in such a fashion where we're like, that's alright, don't worry. It's just a few videos. No, it's not. No, it ain't. Because I tell you what, yeah? Certain people that just sit down and watch videos, your brain is turning to mush. I know people say, don't be stupid. Yeah, it is. You're not pushing your brain to do any work. You're letting your brain just absorb. Yeah, that's good. Do not get me wrong. Absorbing information is brilliant. But when it's the right information, in a form and fashion that is conducive to you retaining said information. Brothers, why are we letting our children just sit down there and consume dumb information and expecting our children to be the smartest on the planet? I've seen some videos. Now I can say this, yeah, for research purposes, yeah, I'm gonna tell you, some videos is not research, some because I was watching some videos and I was like, these youths today are not that dumb. I'm just gonna put it out there. You can look for the videos yourself if you want to. You know, it's just 21st century children between the ages of 16 and 24. bros, you know they don't know nothing. Them stupid like what? Them dumb like cold foot. And I say that because cow's feet can't think or talk, bruv. I'm telling you, some of these youths out there got no sense at all, no common sense. And the joke is, these are the ones that are going to be running the countries and the world when we're old. I fear for my grandchildren. Fear for them. Don't have them yet. I'm just saying, yeah. But brothers, like the influences on our children are mad. So we have to make sure the influence coming from the house is number one. We have to make sure the influence that you get as a child from mum, dad, and your personal surroundings, it doesn't drown it out, because it's not gonna. They spend a lot of time outside the house. But we have to make sure that the influence they're getting from inside the house is just as potent as anywhere else. So I'm sipping my juice. We got to make sure that the information they're absorbing from us is retained in the same way that TikTok videos are retained in their brain. Yeah, because I know youths can. So I gotta tell you. I know children in America and children in England. Yeah. Now, children in England should be able to tell you when the Great Fire of London was, and some of them don't or can't. Well, they don't know, can't tell you. Some children in America should know where Mount Rushmore is, or what country at least. That's the correct term. Yes, yeah, and the right. So, Great Fire of London, they're supposed to know where that is, and Mount Rushmore, they're supposed to know where that is. Yeah, plain and simple. I tried to elaborate a little bit and kind of confuse myself, but they're supposed to know where those places are. Tell me how these youths can name all the Kardashians, yeah, but they don't know where the Great Fire of London was, and they don't know what country Mount Rushmore is in. Because social media done made them stupid. The influences they've had is obviously, not been great influences, or should I say they've been more predominant influences than information that is useful to them in their lives, useful to them actually going further, useful to them becoming more constructive as a human being. Simple. Done. Nothing else. It's not hard. But they don't know. Bros, what are we going to do about it? I know what I've tried to do. I've tried to make sure that my sons gain as much information from me and mum based on themselves, their heritage, who they are, the country they live in, the current prime minister, what money is, how much, well, different value of money, because value means different, well, money means different things to different people, or the value of it at least. There are so many different things, man, just life. Tried to teach them about first aid before they even learned first aid. So there's different aspects of life that me and mum's tried to instill in them and show them and influence them into knowing just as much as social media has. And we had to do it in a time where social media was in its infancy. Remember, I grew up in a time where there was no social media. So for me, it was extremely hard getting used to it. And now look at me, I'm on Instagram and YouTube. I feel kind of happy with that, but at the same time, it's what's causing a problem with a lot of children, a lot of people, and just life in general, man. We need to get back to being outside. You know what they say, yeah? Gamers, or what people say to gamers, that gamers need to go outside and touch grass. Yeah, what we all need to go and touch grass, really. Boy, we all need to go and touch some grass every now and then. It does you good. Yeah, it does wonders for your soul. Tell you this, if you haven't seen the camping video, YouTube /future_fathersFF, go check it out. You will see exactly how much fun we had on our camping trip. Nice weekend. Me, my brother, my son, my nephew. Dope weekend. And there's no light pollution out in the countryside, so you get to see stars for ages. And I'm glad I got to take, well, my brother took us, but I'm glad we got to share the experience together as boys, as dads, teaching our sons, or not teaching them, but taking them out into nature and letting them experience nature on a level that you cannot do living on the ends. We're trying to influence them differently, and it had a very good impact on both of the boys, because they enjoyed it, and seeing them be so free was absolutely brilliant, man. You know what? Us as parents, sometimes we worry about how much money we got to spend, especially us as black parents. We wonder, we got to spend this amount of money on certain things. Sometimes it's best to just do it just to see their faces, just to see how it influences them, just to see the impact that it has on them. But you know what, my brothers? Influence can be many different things. Influence can be many different things to many different people. You can gain influence from different people, different situations, your surroundings, and your peers. Social media should not be the only influence that our children are taking advice from. Social media should not be the biggest influence in our children's lives and having such an impact on them that they're unable to retain simple information. Social media should not be such an influence on our children that it causes them to question who they are as people, or their homes, or us as their parents. My brothers, I know for a fact, some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. Some of you may be a bit confused. Some of you are like, I understand what man's saying. And I'm glad. Because sometimes we're not all on the same page. Life don't work like that. But, bros, I hope my influence does something for everybody. I hope my influence on you has a little bit of an impact and makes you say something in some way, shape or form. I hope I've influenced you brothers as much as you have influenced me to keep going and keep doing this. Thank you very much to all my listeners. Thank you very much to all the subscribers. Thank you very much to all my followers on Instagram. As you know already, you can catch me on Instagram, future_fathersFF, youtube.com/future_fathersFF. My brothers, I'm Ben D. This is Future Fathers FF podcast. I beg you, stay blessed.